In today's episode, we're beginning the build on my, well, not mine, Demi's 1993 Turbo Barra 80 Series Land Cruiser. Nearly 2 years in the making, our biggest four-wheel drive project ever. The ground-up build of an FZ 80 Series Toyota Land Cruiser into a 460 horsepower Turbo Barra monster. In this 60-minute YouTube special, we speed run the entire build from start to finish, with every modification, problem faced and achievement made. Proudly supported by Opus Campers, Ultimate 9, Superior Engineering, GME, and in part by... I calculated that I have been told 3,967,100,000 something times that I should buy a Toyota Land Cruiser. So we have gone ahead and bought one. So this is where life began for our cruiser. It's a 1993 4.5 litre FZ 80 Series Toyota Land Cruiser. These vehicles were manufactured from 1990 to 1998. Coil sprung front and rear, disc brakes front and rear, solid axle front and rear. So all the key components that you want to make an awesome four-wheel drive. As you can see, the car is pretty well grandpa spec.
My thoughts, it's good. Drives pretty rough, but you know, it's spacious.
And she's a bit slow.
Oh, she's slow.
Very slow.
She is slow.
So maybe that turbo will be next week.
Well, you know, it doesn't matter if I go from 0 to 80 in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Toyota things, you know.
Yeah. We had our blank canvas, let the modifications begin. We wanted to build something cool and unique for daily driving and some off-road touring of Australia. Not so much the extreme tracks.
Oh, hi there. Did you notice? I've got a new car.
The first issue we have to face with the build is the car. We started with the basics, some weather shields and fresh seat belts. What do you think, Zeph, of Mum's car? What do you think of it? Yeah?
Built not bought. You know what they say, bigger the bolt. You know what they say?
A fresh exhaust and extractors from Legend X, as the current one was rusted out.
Side step delete.
Second one out. How's your first day being a mechanic going?
Easy.
Nick always says it's just like big Lego.
Very much Lego.
You got her.
Look at that. You've not got bought, mate.
What's your thoughts?
Sounds good.
Sounds sick now.
Yeah.
We need some limiter.
I can do it.
Do it.
You want to do it?
Thank you. I feel like I just freaked out. Zeph was like,
I feel pretty wild, isn't it?
Exhaust and extractors done. Finished off the week with some window tint, decals and custom Razorback seat covers.
I love how I just wing every step of the way and I just like get it right every time.
Threw the instructions over your shoulder.
Yeah. Don't need instructions when you're a woman. I did them all. They fit perfectly and I love them.
80. What's the first job that we're doing today?
Taking out the steering box
Why?
because it's leaking.
Why is it leaking?
Because it has a crack in it.
Because it's a bloody Land Cruiser. There's leaks everywhere.
Don't talk about it like that. Dude, it's so rusty, it's insane.
Less swear words, please.
Me.
Oh, wow. Old one we pulled out, brand new fresh one now. When I say brand new, it's a rebuilt second-hand one, so it's an exchange basis.
How's a different colour?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't you worry about it.
I'm worried.
Don't worry. It's in there now. It's gone.
You've blown it up.
Should be right. Don't you worry about it.
New steering box was in and ready to go. While we had some of the front end already apart, the next job was a major overhaul on the front end. New wheel bearings, swivel hub rebuild, stub axles, the lot. Well, you got it all apart.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at your hair. And Zeph's got grease on him here because he just grabbed it. When we build these four-wheel drives, I like to get all the basics done in the early days to give it all a good freshen up and make it reliable as possible.
But I didn't, like, you see how, you know how we did the bit that we didn't have to do? Basically a mechanic.
Night is coming in. Grab our trusty Ultimate 9 magnetic torch. These things are actually very bloody handy. There we go. That'll sort you out.
They actually are really good.
Next step, you need to hit it harder. You're choking up the hammer.
I'll flog it, mate. I'll show you what flogging. Did you record me doing it?
Look at you. Hold out your hand. Can't believe you kept wearing your watch, you maniac.
Mechanic things.
How was day one of Land Cruiser pull down?
Magical. I'm basically a certified mechanic now. So if you need Land Cruisers fixed, hit a girl up.
You'll get it done. What's your hourly rate?
Depends if I'm dressed.
You want to give update on the camera?
Birdo's here, taking over down there. Pan. I'm going to show him some of the things to do.
What not to do? This is the fast bit. You just scope and scope and scope.
I was playing with it yesterday.
I think it's it, mate. She's been making the noise for 10 minutes.
I'm just hitting my hands up.
So,
Mechanic things.
for this one,
I see what you've done there. You've just made me be the dirty one.
yeah. Yeah, lubricate, mate.
I was just thinking, you know.
This looks familiar. We grease up the seal, and then another seal runs on here, so we grease that up, and then we grease up the threads so the nuts go on real nice, and then we have to grease up where the bearings run as well, so you just, everything's greased. The only bit that doesn't need to be greased is this bit.
We might as well.
I'm not gonna
Why, you'd be used to it. What are you looking for?
The little bag with the bolts I got this out of. Where? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
It's funny when men look for things.
It's funny when women do mechanicing.
The front end was all rebuilt and back together. Next up, a new steering wheel and then a replacement mirror.
Don't drop, that's a spare, don't f it up, jeez. How are you going to feel drive around with one nice
Oh, I was just
black
to say
mirror?
that. Are you kidding me? Can we scuff it up a bit?
No, just get a second mirror. Get it off your head, eh?
Can we get a new one, babe?
No.
Babe, I can't be driving around like in a box.
What do you think?
It's a Toyota.
What do you think of the new steering wheel? Have a look.
Doesn't look straight.
It's straight enough, right? Your car drives like a bucket of shit. I need to give it a wheel of it once we do the suspension. No, don't shoot. Don't.
What's
Don't.
that?
New mirror. It's on there. Looks good.
You nearly got a brand new car after today.
Missing one mirror.
A few days later and we were back into the maintenance. This time doing a check over and rebuild of the rear end with new bearings and seals. Splines look straight.
Yeah, they're good, mate. Land Cruiser's thing, petrol thing ain't gonna twist anything.
No. Replaced a pinion seal on the rear diff as it was leaking. Fixed up a leak on the transfer case.
Toyota thing. They always leak from everywhere. They do. Like their power steering always leaks, their engines always leak, and these transfer cases always leak. But you know, most of these have a lot of K's on them, so it's mostly people driving around and they go, "Hey, I have a Toyota. These things don't break," so they don't look after them. And then they all break, and they're like, "Why is my car breaking?" So you have to do maintenance.
Resprayed the black flares to white and then spent a few hours cleaning up the underneath of the 80. Years of dirt and grime had built up under there with some surface rust, so it really needed a good clean up, and then we gave it a fresh coat of paint. Just a lot of small, time-consuming jobs to give the Cruiser a big tidy and freshen up. Even got a new front grille and the seals repaired and resprayed. Should Demi be a mechanic?
You should create a mechanic shop I'll be the mechanic.
A couple of weeks later and we were back into it. More mods, more better. Todd came over and installed a sun visor and some gull wing windows to replace the glass windows at the rear, allowing easy access into the back. Got some fire extinguishers in, took the 80 down to 12 and redid the sound system with a new head unit, speakers in the door, a sub-amp unit under the seat, and replaced some of the indicators and blinkers. We were really starting to put a dent in all the smaller jobs now. Just all the little touches, making it look nice, replacing all the old pieces slowly. Time to get on to the super exciting stuff of the build: wheels, tyres, and suspension. Alright, who's doing the unboxing of all the suspension? Is Berto?
Like a little kid for Christmas.
You get over there.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Come on.
This is a box, that is a box.
So what's
Here's
that?
some things in here.
What are those?
Yep.
Radius arms, mate.
You alright?
He's down.
You're down.
You barely flopped it.
Do we have to have this?
No.
Nah, you throw that in the bin.
Good, because it doesn't go with my vibe, you know.
She doesn't like rubbers.
You don't like Donald. First
Have you run
day.
out yet?
What's this one?
That's a steering rod. Watch that little pumpkin, kid. You'll smack him on the head with it.
You know what we should do? We should lay them all out on the driveway here, nice little pile of them. So we've laid it all out here, made it look beautiful. We've gone with the Superior Engineering Hyperflex kit.
Brother.
And seized on.
So tight. Fat shackers, mate. Fat shackers.
Fat checkers, mate.
Or flappy shackers. Alright, let's go, mate. Need that arm now. Don't scratch him up, bro. Lid. Daddy,
He's got it
chill.
done.
Take that jumper off, you're overheating, bro.
Don't attempt anything you've seen in this video.
I'm only a mechanic from Monday to Friday. I'm just a man on the weekend.
This is weekend special. So we got the front done first. New Hyperflex radius arms, 3-inch coils, Superior's 2.0 remote res shocks.
Just working out, bro.
Yeah.
Don't need to go to the gym when you got a high lift. They say hit them with the shabba-da-da-da-da-da.
And then upgraded the tie rod, drag link, and panhard. Diff guard on the front, and then we were on to the back. Upgraded and adjustable lower and upper control arms, panhard, coils, and shocks. 35 by 12.5 R17 tyres on a 17 by 9 Neg 38 Dirty Life beadlocks, mounted on the 80, and she was a completely different vehicle.
Oh, I'm over this already.
There's 150 bolts in that box. I've driven it down here in Sydney. It feels quite nice to drive now, and it's lost a bit of power, but it's not as bad as what I thought it would be. I don't reckon it's that bad. It still seems to hold okay on the hills on the highway and
Yeah,
stuff.
because when you get going, it's like 20, stays 20, stays 20, stays 20,
Pretty-
stays 20, stays 20. Okay, we'll go to 30. Okay, we'll go to 40. We'll make it to 50, guys.
A little bit slow to get going.
3 hours later, we're in 50.
Say bye. We're at the show. We're setting up. We're ready to go.
Say bye.
By this point in the build, the 80 was really coming together and was starting to look absolutely amazing. Spent the weekend on display at the Sydney 4-wheel drive show, but it was only a couple of weeks later and the worst happened. In today's episode, we're back with more building of the FZ 80 series. That's what I should be saying anyway. We're not building it today, we're fixing it. Unbuilding. It got crashed reasonably badly. Demi was driving, not going to go into it too much. Accidents happen. She just went into the back of someone. Every time I come out the shed now and look at the 80, I shed a tear because of how beautiful it was, but we'll get it back there. We'll get it back. We'll fix it up. And so begins the strip down on the front so we could get a better idea on what was broken and what would need repairing. What do you have to say for yourself? We need an interview, we need answers.
Don't drink and drive.
For legal reasons, she was not drinking and driving.
She's overhydrated.
Too much water.
I told you not to let Zeph drive. I said you can't reach the pedals to press the brake, and you're like, let's just see if it happens.
Mate, yeah, you be f***ing around, mate.
My car, my rules.
I listen to it.
Tyler's trying to tell me that I was never driving one of these cars again.
You're not.
It's a bloody joke.
You're not driving anything.
You're not driving me then. That's the rules.
You'll be driven.
I'm not getting drove.
Now I had hired out a shed to give us more room to work on the 80, so we got it on a tow truck and moved it there and continued the pull apart process. The plan was always to engine swap this 80 at some point. We wanted something with a bit more power and a better gearbox and a cool project to undertake and provide a bunch of content for the channel. Considering the front end had been smashed in, it just seemed like the most appropriate time to start this. So we'd pull the FZ and auto out to make room for a Turbo Barra and ZF6. Time to pull a FZ motor out.
That's her out.
Big job.
That thing sounded terrible.
And this is the Ford Territory that we're going to be pulling the motor and gearbox out. So it's 4 litre Barra ZF 6-speed auto that's eventually going to end up in that car. I got the whole thing for $1,500, which is pretty good, given it's got the engine, gearbox, wiring loom, everything that we're going to need in it.
So, where are we going to start on this thing, Tyler? I reckon I'm going to drive it up on ramps because we don't have a hoist and undo everything, drain, coolant. I'm probably just going to cut the rad support so we can pull the motor out like we did that one. That'll be the easiest. We don't need the car. No one else wants the car. If you do want it, you're not having it.
That's Barra sauce. Now we did consider bolting a turbo onto the FZ and just using that, but it was still going to be an expensive expedition. FZ motors use a lot of fuel, the motor needed a rebuild with a lot of kilometres on it, and a lot of oil leaks. And any tips for anyone pulling a Ford Territory apart that you've come across?
Have fun.
The gearbox was pretty clunky, so that definitely wasn't going to last either, and then we'd still have the not so great Toyota 4-speed gearbox. 4 litre Barra and the ZF Auto out ready to go. A couple of YouTubers had recently done Turbo FZ builds, so we didn't want to be the third. We'd never done an engine conversion before, and while expensive and a lot of time, it would be an incredible learning experience and provide heaps and heaps of content for what I do. Berto's just spending the next couple of hours, or however long it takes, getting all this wiring harness out of the car without destroying it all.
I'm thinking about just destroying the car and keeping the harness.
As long as the harness comes out, we're good.
Like,
Ford built, mate, built strong.
it's not Birdo strong. I should just get a hammer in here. I reckon. Why do I do this for? This is the half of the car loom that we need to make it all work. I've got it out.
Now you might have noticed by this point we had 2 Barra motors in the shed. Long story short, the motor out of the Territory had a front sump and you need a rear sump for the conversion into the 80. We already knew this, but turns out it was just easier to buy a whole motor from the wreckers than source the parts individually. So we've done that, and now we were stripping down both the motors to use the best parts from each one. There is a lot going on here. I'm trying my best to keep track of everything that's going on. We've got engines and gearboxes everywhere. So there's more to come off this, and some of the parts that you stripped off it have all got to start going on there.
How you feeling, mate? You're a bit overwhelmed or what? Mate, you're getting there. You're getting there. Stress is climbing. You're thinking this is never going back together.
Okay, I've said why we pulled the FZ motor and gearbox out. So why put a Barra motor in the 80? Because there is a bloody lot of engine choices out there. I'll quickly shoot off some of the main reasons we personally chose to go down this route. I already had a whole Ford Territory I bought a while back ready to go for a project. We have never engine swapped a 4-wheel drive, so we wanted an engine that was popular, lots of info out there on it. Barras are everywhere across Australia, loads of mods available for them, parts are easy and cheap to find. Barras make good power, cheap and reliably, more advanced technology in a Barra than an FZ. They don't use ridiculous amounts of fuel and are backed up by the well-renowned and super strong ZF 6-speed auto gearbox. We plan to use this 80 for some light local touring, beach driving and have some fun with. You know what you're doing there, or?
Yeah, I'll figure out what's going on here.
You just make it up as you go.
Brother, I'm a mechanic. You know what I'm going to say else about this? If you're just farming the motor, you should have just rebuilt it. Yeah? You should have said, you f***ing pay for it, bud, not do it. Budget's blown.
So Berto is currently pulling apart the motor that we are going to be using, giving it a good health check, and then installing some billet oil pump gears and heavy duty valve springs.
So, see this? Don't f***ing touch it. Alright? So this is the oil pumps. We've got to pull all these screws out, and then the billet gears go in the inside, in here. So all I'm doing, replacing the ones that are already in there.
Heavy duty valve springs there from Barra the World. Now installing the heavy duty valve springs is a fair job. So while Berto is getting that done, let's have a bit of a look at the Barra motors. Short for Barramundi, they are an inline 6 motor developed and manufactured in Geelong, Victoria, Australia, and came in Ford Falcons and Territories between 2002 and 2016. They came in an NA, Turbo and LPG variant, the Turbo block having some slightly upgraded internals over the NA block. While the Turbo block would have been nice for our build, the NA motors are much cheaper and easier to find, and given we won't be going huge horsepower, somewhere in the 250 to 300 horsepower range, the NA block should still remain quite reliable with the turbo on it. We looked into getting the NA motor rebuilt, but it was going to take a few months. I'm impatient and I didn't want to wait, and we got a quote for around the 8k mark to build one to handle say 500 to 600 horsepower. Maybe once the funds allow, we can get a built one done up and turn the horsepower up on the 80, but that's all down the track. Final job for the day was to mount the cruiser transfer case to the Ford ZF6 gearbox using the adapter that had just arrived. And while we were in the transfer case, we put a part-time 4-wheel drive kit in there too. And then that would just mean that the car can run in 2-wheel drive instead of being a permanent 4-wheel drive.
Correct. Guinness World Record. Spoolie run, eh? That's what you were thinking, mate. That was Cassie Freeman.
But Todd is here today to start welding in the engine mounts and the steering box brace, doing a heap of chassis work at the front of the 80. Now the reason for putting the steering box brace kit on the 80 is it is a known weak point on them. They love to crack the chassis where the box mounts and the panhard bracket there too. So it is a common upgrade people do. That's it, all welded on. Remove the FZ engine mounts to make room for the Ford ones. FZ engine mounts are all gone. Here we go, our package has arrived. Our engine mounts we need, cross member, a few bits and pieces. So this has come from McKinnon's Cruisers. They do a 80 to Barra conversion kit with all this stuff that you need, which is perfect. So it was time for the first test fit of the ZF Auto and 4-litre Barra into the 80. Cross member and gearbox are in the correct spot. Engine's been lowered. How's that, mate? What do you feel? Big Barra engine in the 80. Just sitting there ready to go.
It's not in there yet, darling.
Mounts tacked in, and you'll fully weld them in now. Yeah. That's the engine mounts all fully welded in now.
Well, it's looking pretty good, isn't it, Nick?
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's not my car, so if it doesn't, too bad.
With everything painted, the steering box back on, Berto and Demi got to work doing the final assembly of the block with the freshly painted rocker cover.
Can you just watch what you're doing, mate?
You wanna go? You tighten up 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you see it? Brother.
It doesn't count when it's me. How come you did it so much faster than me?
If you ain't first, you're last.
Look how pretty it is.
What, Zef poo colour? What turbo are you gonna put on it, Demi?
A fast one.
Oh, you're gonna be faster than Tyler.
Yep, it's not hard.
Won't be long to the second crash then.
Are we going to get our brake up rate?
Possibly. The main thing is you just have to use your brakes.
Oh, that's what it's for.
You gotta keep your eyes on the prize.
Yep.
Did the old weld the flex plate bolts on special, mounted up the auto to the block and did a service on it while we were going, and then got it all mounted into the cruiser.
That's suction.
Oh, Daddy, chill. Mate, look, it's in there. Probably not the last time it's going in there. It's in there for now.
Josh has got a big job ahead of him wiring stuff up.
I've just done the conversion. It's plug and play.
And then we'll jump over the table here where Berto's got it all nicely laid out. Some of the gear that's going in here today. So what do we got, mate?
So we've got a 6-boost exhaust manifold. We've got a Gen 3 Pulsar GTX 3584 Turbo. External wastegate. We've got Raceworks injectors. We've got a Raceworks fuel pressure regulator. Raceworks gauges. Obviously put that on, we've got an exhaust gasket. This is a ECU bracket. We have relocation kits for the alternator and the power steering.
With the block and gearbox mounted in, it was time to start bolting everything onto it. This is a big exciting moment, mate. Turbo.
This is a milestone.
Are you hyped or what?
This is a Pulsar Gen 3 3584 V-band in, V-band out, 106 rear housing.
While the turbo was being bolted on, we also got the power steering and alternator relocation kit onto. And then with the hot side of the block done, we could do the cool side. Intake manifold and injectors.
So these are Bosch 1000cc, so they're Raceworks, but they're a Bosch style 1000cc injector. I'm going to pull the seats out, and then I'm going to pull the console out, and then I'm going to pull the carpet out.
That's some nice light you got there, mate.
Yeah, mate, that's my favourite, the Ultimate 9. Foldy Audi.
It gets the job done.
Mate, there's no job they can't do. Honestly.
Next job was to strip out the interior of the 80, give it all a good clean up and lay some sound deadening down.
Mate, there's more sound deadening on this than, yeah. I don't think of anything that had extra sound deadening.
Todd got the surge tank built and mounted up under the 80 and got the Ford shifter and 80 four-wheel drive shifter in.
Getting on top of it now because Berto's not here today, so we can get some shit done. No talking.
Haven't got him distracting yet.
Yeah.
Freshly painted inner guards, radiator support and outer guards back on. How's this, mate? Front of the car's actually back together. I'm pretty excited because it looks like an actual car again now. It's not just a pile of junk in the shed here.
I don't know if you can see his hair, but it's a bit messy. He's been pulling it out. So I thought, I'll bolt it back together for him. We got lights. Where are they from? Bush stuff. We got pretty lights for a pretty car. Keep Demi happy. Mate, it needs 3 hands for it.
You want me to put it on a tripod and help?
Nah, mate, nah. Don't want you to have anything to do with this. I want it done right. I'm a strong, independent man. Doesn't accept help off anyone.
And then we got special guest appearance, the car crasher at the shed. Demi herself. What's your thoughts on the car coming back together? How do you feel about it?
I'm feeling like all this hard work of mine really paid off.
How long until you crash it again?
25 years. That's when I'll get a 60.
So next up, we're going to put the radiator in. It's in.
What radiator did we get and why did we get it?
Just a factory replacement one, mate. It's a 1FZ one. Apparently, that's what you do for these, but I'm just going off what other people say. So if it's wrong, then it's on them, not me. This was very expensive.
Takes no
This
responsibility.
is probably like $1,000. So if it's wrong, then they owe us $1,000.
Why does nothing ever fit?
Well, because this is a motor from a Ford, and this is a Toyota. You can't just buy one to fit.
Why can't we just buy a normal hose, just move it around as if it was a normal hose?
Well, that's what I bought the one that everyone says fits.
It doesn't bite.
No, well, they're fucking lights.
Fixing cars is just growing up Lego.
Yeah, mate. This is 30-year-old Lego, and the instructions are in the bin. So.
There was definitely a lot of test fitting, adjusting and trying to make parts work on this build. Plenty more going on though. AC condenser, GME antenna, new HF, Ford pedal and intercooler. We're back, another day in the shed. Day 792 of the 80 build probably so far. And today Todd was back making bar work. Rear and front bar. These came from Coastal Off-Road as a DIY kit and needed to be welded and painted.
Whoa.
What is it, Zeph?
Even Zeph's excited.
Oh, can I do that? That looks fun.
Are you sure you need to do this? I've got more experience getting in the boxes.
Look! It's a baby!
And the drawer's packed.
With a fresh toolbox and some proper tools for the shed, we were back into it. bar work and a bonnet back on, and it was looking like a proper car again for the first time in a long time. Even though it looked like a car again though, there was still a bloody lot of work to go. Todd made some intercooler piping. That's the first half of the intercooler piping done, the hot side. Now on to the second half, the cool side. And then that's the other side all done. So out of the intercooler, up through the rad support there, comes out, and then into your intake. Once again, I just get pulled off the car. And Todd can finish welding and making that all nice and neat at home, and then we can plug it back in next time. Made some water and oil lines for the turbo.
I've been making lines instead of snorting them.
Look, that's what I was getting at, but
With the lines made, Josh from Wyeside Auto Electrical was hooking into the wiring side of things to make the Ford Barra run in the 80 series cruiser, which is going to be a fair job. So in the meantime, Berto is getting some smaller jobs ticked off. Next little job we're going to do is, we have the new bonnet, which is freshly painted, but there's nothing underneath it.
Oh yeah?
So, Car Builder's got a underbonnet insulation, premium sound and heat insulation. Looks like Sean's in for the install on this one.
He's taller. What do you have to say about it? No words. He's speechless. That's how beautiful I am. Might actually get some work done today without Toddy yapping in my ear. What did Todd chew this off with his teeth or something? Lucky he's got good teeth from yapping too much. He started something he shouldn't have started, didn't he?
He started, you're going to finish it. This is exciting. We're going to actually have oil in the engine.
I'm not that excited about it. I have oil in all my engines.
yeah, with the pressure's on.
There's no pressure when you're a smooth criminal.
You got sun plug in? Oh!
Pressure's on now, double check.
Mate,
Mate, the car's sending it. Look at it, it's everywhere.
It's turned to chaos here. There's oil all over the car. We don't have the sun plugs on. What's going on?
We thought Todd was the yapper.
What's going on?
Will the oil make it into the engine? Hands on it.
Supervise you or no?
Fuck off, idiot. Couldn't supervise a brothel if you had fucking goggles on. Let's go, boys.
It's on. Try and get it in this time. What's next, mate? What's going on here?
What's next?
Some nice pipe.
On Friday I was away. I wasn't talking to Todd, so he actually got some work done, yeah? We got some intercooler pipes done. He's welded them seamless. They're beautiful. Rolled beads. You pay top dollar for that. Not very user friendly, is it? At least you know it's not going to fucking come off.
Yeah.
Can't get the on. Might not even need clamps.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh.
Righto, so what we've done, I stayed back till about midnight last night while you guys went home. Tried to finish this harness with conflicting information off the internet. Can I put a battery in this and power this up?
We've got a big moment here with Josh. He's about to test something. What's going on?
I'm just going to see if it cranks off the key. It's all wired through the ECU's harness, and hopefully I've done it right. So, oh,
It cranks.
Yeah, she cranks.
Look at that.
Can we do something else too? Because it's killing me. I just want to know if it's going to run.
You gonna start, you bastard?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Bastard. Let's give it.
Big moment.
We're just gonna see if it's gonna fire or have spark.
Well, this is exciting. We're hopefully about to see the first start of the Turbo Barra 80.
No spark. No spark. Why don't we have spark?
Yeah.
We got injection pulse.
So crank sensor works, so we should technically have spark. So
Why don't we have spark? What have I forgotten to wire up?
diagnostics 101.
Righto, so we haven't got power or ground going to the coils at all.
So that sort of led you to believe that maybe something else needed to be wired up.
The boys had to do some problem solving and eventually found a wire not hooked up. Let's try again.
That's it.
Heads of power.
She's all good.
She's got power now.
Yep. Ready?
Yep. Spark me.
How's that, boys? We got it started. She's running.
Yeah, she goes.
Alrighty, another day on the Turbo Barra 80 in the shed here, day 4 billion. Battery box all properly mounted. Power steering, resi bottle, radiator piping, thermo fan for the radiator, and thermo fan and cooler for the auto, all done. How good's that? Thanks, Todd.
Best thing you've ever done, Todd. But today I'll be able to get some work done because he's not here to talk my ear off.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, mate.
So today, Berto was getting all the fuel tanks and pumps sorted and running all of the fuel lines.
We got our Raceworks delivery. We've got all the bits back from my mate Dan at his hydraulic shop. We got all these AN fittings welded onto the end and stuff. We've got our steering ones. So we've converted them from factory into the steering box to AN. So now we can run everything Raceworks. And then we're converting that to Dash 8 to run all our fuel on. We're partying down here.
No little disco on the camera.
Literally. You ready?
Yeah, I'm watching. Yeah, you got like 30. Mate, that's a big moment. We've got a fuel system for her.
It is a big moment.
With the fuel system done, mate, well, next system is power steering system.
Yeah, mate. What do you reckon about that, mate?
Power steering cooler installed.
So now I'm going to fill it up, see if there's any leaks, get it ready for the big go-go.
You got some distilled, demineralised Mount Everest spring water to go
Not
in
Mount
this?
Everest, this is going to be Antarctica Glacier. What's that, eh? Fresh demineralised water.
Mate, just went to the shops and picked that one up.
I hope there's no minerals in it.
Mate, that water's expensive and you're already wasting half of it.
Yeah, well, guess what? You pour it, see how good you do.
Mate,
I ran out of the demin, I've got to go back to the shop, get some more.
Yeah, rightio. I'll see you in half hour.
Right, so we've got the intercooler pipes back from painting. Can we get a Hoya?
Hoya.
What's the thoughts on the car, Demi? It's a microphone, speak to it.
I think the car is looking very nice.
What'd you say today? You seen some fuel lines?
I saw some unconnected items underneath the car.
You know, if you came in and did some work, Demi, everything would be connected by now.
I'm never invited to come here. I bring myself here.
I was wondering who invited you here right
Yeah.
now, but...
I just come around when I feel like it.
That's pretty much everything back together in the engine bay. Intercooler piping in, battery, which means we have power now, airbox, power steering, lots of stuff in there. And because we've got power, now we can start wiring a few things up.
Raceworks 1 litre catch can, dual in, 1 out. So we have to replumb this back to the airbox for engineering.
Yeah, sweet. And why do we need a cash can? What's the purpose of it?
Emissions.
The day has finally come. The bar work for the 80 has arrived. We got bull bar and we got rear bar. In the end, we decided to go with the white, color coded to match the car. We wanted to do something different other than black, which we have on all our vehicles. And I reckon white's gonna come out the nicest and cleanest. That's the bull bar on, we'll get the rear bar on.
Shit, eh? Shit. Big day, big moves. Shit.
All right, but stoked the house coming together, mate. Big
Yeah.
job, big job.
Big job, mate. What's next, you may ask? Come over here, come over here, come over here. What's this say? What's this say? That's a
Boom.
Torped, mate. This is a Torped exhaust, 3-inch stainless steel, 306 grade stainless. It's all mandrel bent, TIG welded. Have enough hands for this bullshit.
You need me under there helping?
Nah, definitely not. You're just getting the f away.
Just the usual.
Mate, you just hold the camera. All right? Just hold the camera.
Do what I'm good at.
But don't go four-wheel driving.
Josh had been smashing through the wiring the last few days, but he was still having issues getting the fuel pumps to run properly, so we are currently trying to sort that out.
You know what might have happened?
What?
We might have busted a fuse, eh? No, we didn't.
You want me to put power back on?
Yeah, go back on.
Power's on.
Go. Is that on or
That's on.
Is that on?
On, ignition. It's
Why
right
doesn't
there.
the fuel pumps go, but?
Well, why don't they go now at all?
Yeah.
That's what, I thought you might maybe unplug something. What if there's just 2 bad relays? You got blind fuses over there.
We shouldn't, but
How big's the fuse for the fuel pump?
40 amps.
How much does a fuel pump draw?
Oh, not that much.
What if it's a big fuel pump?
Why put 40 amps?
Astro Power Steering goes 80.
80, yeah, but that's a power steering pump.
No, I'm just checking. You're the man that knows.
I don't f***ing know.
I'm a
eh?
mechanic.
What's going on? Why doesn't anything work?
You tell me, mate. You've f***ing wired this thing up.
You have touched it.
Nah, we haven't touched it. I put it back how I had it. I only unplugged.
What do you mean you put it back here?
I only unplugged fuel in tank.
You unplugged it?
The fuel in tank.
Mechanics, eh?
Of course. Well, you got fuel pumps going now, and we're only on accessories.
Are they going?
No, but we're only on accessories. You want it on?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No, you said accessories.
No, I said on.
No, it's on. It's on now.
On.
It's on now. It's lights on the dash.
Can't work under these extreme
There's
pressures.
too much pressures.
You've done something.
No, I really haven't. I really haven't done anything. Oh no, there's dodgy auto electrician or
There's
something.
something going on, eh? We got power, we got ignition. I've put ground to it, and we've got no pumps. So
This is the problem the whole time.
we got no
Power to that. And that's what's turning the computer on, yeah?
Yeah. Go off the key for me. Turn it off. Righto. But what I've done, I wired it into the charge circuit.
And now we've changed the charge circuit.
Now I've changed it.
Yeah, it makes sense. She's fixed.
Yeah, it's fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I done a doozy, eh?
Well, would you look at that? We had a working fuel system and a running car. Berto pumped it full of auto fluid, did a bunch more problem solving and diagnostics, getting everything running smoothly. Now the car was running. Wired up the e-boost, and then we loaded it up to get it down to AXFAB to make a dump pipe and a wastegate pipe.
What do you think? What do you think? Give it one, mate. A little one. Yeah, that's enough, that's enough. So, another day, Thursday, dump pipe day.
Car's all loaded up and brought here to, where are we?
George's at Axe Fabrication in Kempsey. The plan for today is to get the dump pipe all fabricated up to that new exhaust and the wastegate on and welded on and everything.
This is what you need, mate, one of these things. Always.
Yeah, well, I've got a dump for a boss, so I can't.
No time to waste though, he was hooking into getting this job done. The dump and wastegate pipe is all made from stainless steel. We went a 3.5 inch on the dump just to give it that maximum airflow for getting rid of all the exhaust gases out of the big barra. It's all put together using TIG welding and stainless rod rather than MIG welding, meaning it's all rust free and going to look bloody beautiful. That's the dump pipe all tacked in place, now onto the wastegate pipe. The idea is you want to build the whole setup first, just tacking it together, which makes it not too hard to change things around as you are going. Then once George is happy with it, he can weld it out. Dump pipe, wastegate pipe, that's been tacked on, so George is going to go through and do the final weld on that. That'll be both those made and they can get mounted in. Yeah.
Definitely needs a muffler. When are you afraid to put a muffler in? We definitely need at least one,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
potentially two.
Say hi, Zeph. Welcome to the shed. What do you think of Dad's new shed, Zeph? We are on to the final countdown now, smashing through the last few jobs before the big tune day.
What sort of lighting we got in here, mate? I don't know, bud.
Best light there is.
Shed don't have lights, but we've got lights.
How's this, but 9 months off the road.
I'm about to go up for another 9 months.
A lot of long days.
Long days.
A lot of stress.
A lot of stress.
Biggest
lot
job.
of your money.
A lot of my money. Biggest job I've ever done by far, and we're here.
We're here.
This thing is about to go for a drive on the road, and then in a few days it's getting tuned.
That's still only like this much now. tune day. We're down here at Gloucester, Oztech Performance. We're getting the car bolted onto the dyno, it's hub dyno. So I'm going to see what we messed up today. See how much power we can make.
I can't believe the day is here. After all the work, the Barra 80 is ready to hit the dyno. Berto and I were both pretty nervous, but let's see what this thing can do.
How much?
371. Yeah, it's...
Holy Christ, mate.
Yeah.
Initial couple of runs on the dyno done, and there was a few issues to sort out. No boost control, some blown heater hoses, plugs were blowing the spark out, so we had to gap them. With the issues sorted though, time to do some more dyno runs and see what power we can make. That run sounded good. What did we get? 446 horsepower.
446, mate. On what? 14 pounds. I don't know what we're going to, maybe 15, 16 pounds. If that's the case, we'll probably make 460.
Yeah, was that 460?
Mate, you're not going to be able to drive it. You can't drive anyway.
460 horsepower and just under 800 newton meters of torque. That's getting into some big numbers now for an NA Barra block. Berto and I are waiting for a rod to come out any minute. Dyno runs in total and she held on good. Walter took it for a test drive on the road to make sure the auto was shifting nice, and the 80 was done. So next day, mate, we're back.
We got 457.3 horsepower, 756 newton meters, and that's 14 psi. We made it.
We made it, we did it. You did it, mate. 9 months of work.
Didn't throw a rod out.
Nah. Took Demi for a test drive last night.
Yep.
So we'll put in some footage of that.
You ready? Put your belt on, bud. You're just getting scared already?
Like, we're so close out of the car. They're like, why did they make that?
Well, the 80 was dynoed, driving on the road and bloody fast. But unfortunately, just because it was driving does not mean it was done. This is where the final 10% of the conversion begins, and definitely the slowest and most painful part. Getting all the small bits and pieces sorted and properly working, ironing out all the bugs and getting it ready for engineering. George from Axfab came back and got a cat and muffler in the exhaust. We got central locking and steering wheel controls from Trail Tech wired in, and Berto spent many a days figuring out wiring for things in the 80. Berto's auto electricians.
Sometimes. Don't call me up for quotes. I'm not doing it.
Next job's the tacho working.
Yeah, well, tacho and the engine light.
We should also say, we haven't said this yet, what happened to the gearbox on this car, mate?
Oh, the gearbox on this thing. So I said, "Oi, Tyler, your gearbox has been a bit funny. Let me take it for a drive." So you know me, I hit the loud pedal a little bit, and the gearbox said, "No, I do not want to handle 750 newton meters." So I came back. I said, "Tyler, we need to buy a gearbox." So what's happened?
We're getting to build one.
We're getting a built one. Why are we doing that?
Because we were going to do it once still, right?
That's right. I'm not letting Tyler skimp out. So this is going to take a little fiddling out, mate. The wiring diagram would be good. If I could speak Japanese, it'd be better.
If you're a lover, you should know.
Now turn the car on. It's not that one, so turn it off. It's not that one.
Didn't work.
It's not that one. So, I'm gonna have to check some more stuff. More checks, more better, mate. Look at that. Mate, what do you reckon of that?
Look at that, she works. Big moment.
Now we just need a belt that don't squeak.
Yeah, I just thought that then. So that blown gearbox we had in the 80, well, we had been getting one built. A ZF6 rated to 750 kilowatt with billet shafts, upgraded clutch packs and all the goodies you can imagine. The day had come, we were back at Oztech's Performance to get it in. So that's the oil drained. We got to get this gearbox out. What's the plan?
Plan is, I'm gonna have to unbolt everything. So tail shafts, cross member, auto cooler, shift cable, starter motor out, torque converter bolts off, all your bellies and bolts, pull it out as a unit, and then once it's on the ground, we'll have to separate the adapter and all that jazz. But that's where we're gonna start. I'll give you an update if I remember something else we gotta do.
Look at that, mate. Gearbox is out.
Gearbox is out. Straight in the bin, mate. Anyone wants it? $12.50.
We've got the welded on flex plate bolts out, flex plate off. Unboxing of the new setup here. Big billet flex plate there.
So now we're going to dowel the crank and the flex plate. We have the special tool bolted up there. It's got a guide, and that's to stop the flex plate coming loose. It's a common thing with these barras.
Oh, this one's a bit heavier. All the billet internals, mate. We had a couple of issues on the way home, or that night. I had a mental breakdown that night.
He nearly cried.
You came to work the next day and I was like stressing. I was just like, I've had enough of this car. I'm sick of spending money. I'm sick of fixing problems. Pretty much, it's one of those things, like an engine conversion, you pretty much fix 3 things and then you write 6 more things on your list you got to fix.
We're getting rid of bugs, which is all part of the progress. I said, Tyler, take a breath.
Well, a few mental breakdowns later and the world wasn't coming to an end. We were still moving forward with the build. New wheels and tyres to match what was needed for engineering. What do you reckon of her?
Shiny.
It looks bloody beautiful. She's coming together. We're 1 week out from engineering. This is how many jobs we got going on at the 80 at the moment, how busy we are. We got 4 people here doing the jobs. Well, 1 person doing the job and 3 people standing around watching.
Yeah, this is.
Pretty much every job I've ever had's been like this.
Just everyone watching
Oh,
you.
listen to it.
Remove the 3-inch coils and put some 2-inch coils in, as the engineer we use will only engineer 35s on a 2-inch lift. Did some more diagnostics and problem solving, and then the engineering day was upon us. Mate, the big day's finally come. 12 months of hard work from you, Berto, behind the camera, but the engineering day is here. So here with Stu, we got Kurt as well, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing engineered and passed, mate. See how we go. Noise test was first. Unfortunately, that failed.
Well, it's about 94 then.
It's got to be under, what, 90?
90, yeah.
Swerve and brake test up next. Let's see if we can do any better on them. How are you feeling? This is nearly 18 months of your hard work under the pressure today. 18 months of me telling you what to do and you pulling your hair out.
There's no pressure, mate, because I've built this thing to a higher standard than I'll build anything else, so I know it's good, mate.
It's going to be good to pass.
Yeah.
So I made it out to the road, Stu.
We're going to do swerve testing first.
Tyler Thompson, Toyota Land Cruiser 80 series, VIN ending in 6160, fully laden swerve test number 1.
Clear.
Copy, on my way. Tyler Thompson, swerve test number 2.
Clear here.
Some more swerve tests were done, which were all going really well, and then we were on to the brake testing. How's it going so far, Stu?
Yeah,
so
good.
passed the swerve test.
Passed the swerve test. We got some good brake results, performance results just then.
Yeah.
We've got to go and do heating procedure now.
Swerve and brake test passed. How good. I haven't shared too much footage from the engineering, but Stu and Kurt spent a lot of time going over every component of the 80 and the full Turbo Barra conversion that had been completed. We had to fix up the exhaust and get a noise test passed, and then everything was ticked off and the 80 was engineered and legal. Fast forward a few weeks, very exciting news. The engineering papers have turned up and the 80 is fully engineered and road legal. Okay, first job that we are starting on this 80 build episode, air locker and air compressor setup. With the Turbo Barra conversion complete and the 80 engineered, we could get to work on the final modifications to get it ready for its maiden off-road voyage.
Gotta get myself out of here, you know what I mean, mate?
You stand up and walk out. We installed an ARB rear locker and solid pinion spacer to help strengthen the rear diff and give it some off-road capability, and then an ARB single air compressor to run the locker and give the ability to pump up tyres when we are out the bush.
Mate, I'll sell this as a kit, mate. This is a prototype, you know what I mean?
This is some R&D right here, right now today.
That's right, mate. Anyone wants one, mate, hit me up. 6 million bajillion cash. And you bring it to me, I'm not coming to you, mate.
Berto had to spend some time wiring to make the four-wheel drive system work, tested out the suspension on the flex ramp to see how everything worked. It does have pretty good flex, but that's the big Superior Hyperflex kit putting in work. Oh my God. Look at this bloke. He's gonna cut up the 80. The guards need a little trimming and we made some bump stop extensions. And the next job that we are doing on the 80 is bush wraps, which is a PPF or paint protective film. The bush wraps protects the paint from scratching and stone chips, etc. when you are out forward driving. This was the last job we had time for before we had to pack up for the first big adventure. Although we did sit down and calculate the cost of the entire build so far. So we got just under $110,000 worth of parts you added up there. And then we add in the nearly $40,000 of labour. We come in at just under $150,000 to build this car, which that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of car.
Holy dooly. That is a bit of money. But anyways, let's go forward driving.